So for the past 2 years, Assad has been trying to rehabilitate his image internationally and also present himself as the sole victor and the real leader of Syria. But the protests in Suwayda now are trying to send a message that they cannot accept Assad to rule them and this regime to rule them in the form that it still takes now. So after 12 years of civil war in Syria, it seems like Bashar al-Assad has managed to reconsolidate his grip on power. But people began protesting in a town called Suwayda every day for the past 4 weeks. Suwayda is unique because it's the home of Druze minorities in Syria, and they make up around 3% of the Syrian population. These protests are embodying a wider frustration that's been seeping through to minorities in the countries, those same minorities that Assad has used in the past to legitimize its rule over Syria. But this time, protesters of Suwayda were not calling for economic reforms as they've done in the past, but for Assad to leave. They took to the streets, tearing down posters of Bashar al-Assad and shutting down the ruling party's main headquarters. At the beginning, it started with a few hundred people, and now the numbers of protesters are nearing thousands. What mainly sparked the protest was the government's decision to lift up subsidies, the fuel subsidies to be exact. But we can see that frustration with the way the regime has been handling the country and its economy has been brewing for a long time now, actually, in areas where he perceived in the past to be his stronghold support.
These people have nothing else left to lose. They've lost everything. You know, there's no food, there's no basic living necessities.
The uprising in 2011, we saw that it was very difficult for cities that are under the government's control to take to the streets, and the stakes were always higher there. Suwayda became neutral in the conflict. It didn't take the side of the government necessarily, but it didn't take the side of the armed opposition. If we look back at the protests that happened in Suwayda in the past, none of them got to the point to be as politically direct about their opposition to Assad being the president as it has now.
The Druze community have been, trying to balance being able to speak out and at the same time make sure that they're safe from the horrific repression of the Assad regime.
I think when a city like that, who's really tried to stay neutral for so long, after 13 years, just explodes in this way, to hear that now bigger numbers are growing frustrated with the situation, this is something that we've not seen in the past on this level. There's a stark difference currently between what Assad is trying to portray to the international community and to Arab countries, which is that he's the sole victor of this conflict and everything is now under control, and then that we could start moving to solutions and to a period that is post-conflict. There's a big difference to what's happening on the ground. People are not protesting for Assad to hear them. This is evident. People have protested for the past 13 years and nothing has changed. People are protesting now so the international community and the Arab countries can hear them, and they can see that even when those two communities contribute in addressing Assad as the victor of this long conflict, he's still not people's choice on the ground.